we're holding in a beautiful Geschmack Pedic. It's Iggeres HaTeshuvah, and we're holding Pedic Yud Aleph. We're holding a Pedic Yud Aleph. Let's see how much we can cover over here. Omnam li is belibo yachnoah. You see? Pedic Yud Aleph?
Page
198. 198. 198. We welcome back Rabbi Sasson Azar, Baruch Hashem, and Benzi, both back from Eretz Yisrael.
Spoke to him in Israel.
Wow, you met in Eretz Yisrael?
Spoke.
Called me.
Oh.
I couldn't call him.
Okay. Let's learn. Omno, Liz, Beliebe, Yachnoah, Yibchin is Truva Tato. V'gam Asricha, V'Hashem, Shneim Yach. How is it possible for a person to have Hachnoah, humility, and Simcha at the same time? They're opposite types of emotions. Already mentioned this in Lukutei Amorim, so Perek Lamed Dalet. Kameshikotzu b'Zohar HaKodesh. Chedva tekir b'liboy mesit redo, and the opposite mesit redo. B'chi mesit redo. The Alter Rebbe says a story in the Zohar. The Zohar says a story that Reb Shimon Bar Yochai was telling Sodas HaTorah about the Churban. And the son was crying out of the pain of the Churban. When his father said the Torah about the Churban, he felt the magnitude of the Churban. At the same time, he felt unbelievable joy of the Sodas HaTorah that his father was giving. The Zohar says there was he cried and laughed at the same time. He was sad and happy at the same time. So the Alter Rebbe says that it's possible sometimes for a person to have opposite emotions. The Alter Rebbe says in Perek Lamed Dalet that a person can have joy from the nefesh shalakis, from the closeness to Hashem, and feel joy, and because of the mishra, the chivya, because of the skin of the snake, because of the nefesh of Bahamas, he feels a bitterness. And they're not a contradiction. At the same time, he feels bitterness and happiness, and it's exactly the same time. It's like the story, similar to the story in the Zohar, that Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, his son of Elazar, were crying and laughing at the same time, crying and dancing.
A lot of people have tears. And
that's something else. That's something else. It's not the same. It's the opposite.
You know, for brain gain, sometimes you see a person say l'chaim, right?
Yeah.
He's very happy. All of a sudden, start crying.
The chiddush should be here in exact same time. And the Alter Rebbe says it's shaykh for Yid to have simcha at the same time, and it's not a stira. Why? Because the simcha is mitzad and nefesh alakis, the closeness to Hashem, and the bechia is because of the mishcha, the chivya. It's because he feels the bitterness of the skin of the snake of the nefesh Bahamas.
Well, how could it be the same time?
How could it be? Because nishka stira. It's two different things. Like the similar, like the story of Rebbe Elazar, that was happy to hear Sodas HaTorah, and he was in joy, and at the same time he felt the fakir, because there was so big joy from the Pnimis HaTorah, he felt the oimek ha'churban from the churban Beis HaMikdash. So the pain was much more intense, and the simcha was unbelievable. So that was the.
I don't understand it at the same time could be what?
It's very hard. It's very hard.
You see a little kid sometimes he crying, and a second later he laughing. I understand that, but
it's very hard. And I want to talk about a sikha from the Rebbe that's mamish muida meroimdik about this. But if a person also has the emunah, that a person has emunah, and not only emunah, he has bitochen. Bitochen means that he's calm. The difference of emunah and bitochen is emunah means a person believes in Hashem. Could be he deserves punishment. Bitochen means that he feels calmness, that everything is going to be good. He knows that the Eibishter wants chesed, take it from a yad, that he knows that the Eibishter wants to forgive him. And that's why we say in this capital Nun Aleph and Tehillim by Krishma Shalamita and by Tikkun Chatzos, Krev Rechamecha V'Shoi, Ke'erev Kepseinim V'chol HaMenois HaMechin. Belishum Suffolk Svek Svek Keshabar Elam. He has no Suffolk at all. Just like that as soon as he asks the Eibishter for Mechila, he's not a fool. The Alter Rebbe says in the Iggeres HaTeshuvah and the Adura Kama that the person that doesn't believe that is a mekatne amona, because he thinks, oh, maybe Hashem didn't forgive me. Why would Hashem not forgive you? Oh, maybe I didn't mean it with my whole heart. What do you mean you didn't mean it with your whole heart? Don't you think that deep in your heart you really want to do tshuva?
Even if you don't
feel it. So therefore, you have to have emunah ubitochen that the Eibishter already gave you the forgiveness. So Mamela, this unbelievable simcha. Mamela, this unbelievable simcha. Stop. There's a pure nifla from the Rebbe on this. The Rebbe says that we find three things. First of all, there's a contradiction between this Perek and the last Perek. Last week we spent the whole thing saying that B'dor Yosem, you can't do such a thing, dance and cry at the same time. Have Bechia, have Leiv Nishbar and Simcha at the same time. That's why Krishma Shalamita is Tshuva Tato, that's Bechia. Shacharis is Tshuva Elah, that's what Simcha. We spoke about it last week. In Tshuva Tato, a person feels bitterness. In order to expunge the dirt, the mud, the blotter, he has to feel bitter. Ichsa. I don't want this. He has to feel rachmanis, bitterness. I want to expunge it. I want to get rid of it. And in order to have tshuva law, a person must have simcha. You're dovik to the Eibishter. How can you not be besimcha? If you're not besimcha, you can't be in tshuva ta'illah. And you're close to the Eibishter. Must be simcha.
You can be in Eichel HaMelech.
How could you be? Elamai, you're not in the Eichel HaMelech. So tshuva tato is bechiyah. Tshuva ilah is simcha. The Alter Rebbe said, how could you have simcha at the same time? And it's impossible. So therefore, by Krishma Shalamit, by Tikkun Chatzos, we have tshuva tato, which is merirus, and simcha we have in the morning. And the two things, like Korav Zel, the two different things. But this Perek, the Alter Rebbe says, I already explained how both things can be at the same time. But didn't you just tell me in the last Perek that
Impossible.
It's impossible? And now you're telling me. And then, even in this Yudalef, in Perek Lamed Daled and Tanya, the Alter Rebbe says the story of Rebbe Lazar and Rebbe Shimon. It says you could have both at the same time. But over here he adds, V'gam, another thing. V'gam, he says, B'tziruf oid amuna b'toch, at least. Why does he add a special thing, B'tziruf oid amuna v'b'tochen over here? And not over there? The Rebbe has a pure nifla on this. Saying Tanya, what's up, Lo over v'lo yavar amveira miyama. He never did and never will do a sin. Am I disqualified of being a Beinani? The Alter Rebbe says that every Jew could be a Beinani. If I knew I once sinned, am I disqualified from being a Beinani? Huh? L'chura. So then, but the Alter Rebbe said, Sefer Shabeinani is midas kol odem v'achareh kol odem yimshach. Every person could be a Beinani. So I can't be a Beinani.
Two different types.
No, the Alter Rebbe said with him Beinani, but still, they're saying a Beinani is lo yavar v'lo yavar. Lo yavar aveira. Lo yavar v'lo yavar. So how can I be a Beinani? I know I went through many aveiras. Chassidim said the pshat lo yavar v'lo yavar means like this: if a person does an aveira, does a bad thing, or he has a bad midah, so I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do this anymore. Am I tempted to do it? No, I'd like to do it again. But I already said, sorry, I'm not going to do it again. Right? That's one way. And then there's another way. There is sometimes a regular fruma yid, right? If a kid called me today, Rabbi Chabashayla, I bought a phone with a 2-year plan. Can I break the phone and send it back? Is that Gneva or not Gneva?
What's behind it?
He's going to break the phone and send it back.
Why you bought it? You know, like a break to send it back.
No, he bought it. He used it for a year and a half. He's going to break it. They'll send it back and get a new phone. Chino mein Kosov. I said, it's Gneve. He said, why?
It's a
So,
Gneve.
no. He said, why? Rabbi, why is it Gneve? Now, I want to tell you, I know this kid, very good kid. If Shabbos, this kid would never have a taiva to flip a light on, to open the light in Shabbos.
The thing is that he called it up to ask the Shaila.
That's very cute. It's the cutest thing in the world. But he's never going to be, this kid is never going to be tempted on Shabbos to open a light. It's not like he walks past the switch. Which Fruma Yid has a taiva to open a switch or light in Shabbos? It's not shaykh. It's off limit. It's not. Who thinks of it?
Well, here you go.
So by a Beinani, loy over velo yaver. Any aved in the world, it's already so much out of the system that loy over velo yaver. It's kilu loy over. It's not in the system. Like the Maggid said, the Gemara said that a person shouldn't say efshin. I can't eat pork. I could eat pork. The Maggid said, no. That's only for big people. Regular people shouldn't say that. Because for Sholem, they're going to say, and then they'll be nirshul. The Beinani is the type of person that anything which is against the Ratzon Eibishter, he's not even tempted by it. Emes Take, that he still has a Yetzer Hara, and he still could have ugly thoughts that come. But to do it, it's not a struggle if you should. When it comes Lamaisa, there's no struggle there. So like this. The Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, for example, that Hillel, he went to eat lunch. He said, I'm going to do a chesed imaluva v'aniya. I'm going to take care of the poor guy. My body is hungry. The Alter Rebbe said, Hillel could say it. Me and you can't say it. Because by Hillel, was nefesh shalakis, nefesh abahamis. There was no confusion, no intertwine, no entanglement. Today's word is entanglement. There was no entanglement. The nefesh shalakis, the nefesh abahamis. He's going to do a chesed now with his body. He's going to go feed his body. But me and you, how can we say that? What do you mean? This is me. This is us. So now the Rebbe says like this. Here's the Rebbe's word. When it comes to a Beinani, there's no entanglement. There's nefesh shalakis, there's nefesh abahamis. He could have at the same time, simultaneously, he could have joy and bitterness, Beinani at the same time, because it's not confusing. Because there's two different nefoshes. Okay, that's a Beinani. In Tanya, we're talking about a person who's dealing with issues. He's dealing with issues. That's why he's learning Iggeres HaTeshuvah, right? If you're not dealing with anything, you're not here tonight. Basically, not Mendel, right? Only people that have issues are coming here to learn Iggeres HaTeshuvah, right? Everyone else, they don't.
We have to have only 100 people here today.
Yeah, they don't have any issues. So only the people with issues are coming to learn. So in this, there's two ktseis. The Rebbe says every Yid has to try to experience Teshuvah Tato and Teshuvah Elah. But Tzaddik can't say, Teshuvah Tato. No, everyone has to do Teshuvah Tato, but also a regular person has to try to experience Teshuvah Elah. Teshuvah Tato is the union of bitterness and achmonas, as we said in Perek Zayin. Why do you need to have bitterness and achmonas? To expunge the thickness of the snake, the caked on blotter. So you have to feel bitterness from the nefesh bahamis and rachmanis and your nefesh likis to expunge it. If you're on the happy at the same time, so then you're not having really bitterness. You can't have the same. So you can't have it at the same time. Who are you fooling? So in Perek Yud, when he's talking about a person that's really dealing mostly with Teshuvah Tato, but he's trying to experience a little bit Teshuvah Elah. If he's going to try to have happiness and bitterness at the same time, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's not going to work. Because he does have a lot of entanglement in his life. He doesn't know where the Nefesh Elokis finishes and where the Nefesh Abraham starts. So if he's going to be B'Simcha now, how could he at the same time feel bitterness for where he's standing and at the same time have Rachmanis? So he has to divide and conquer. Krishma Shalamita Tingan Chatzois, there'll be bitterness. Tefillah Shachris, there'll be Simcha. So he'll be able to experience both. But in Perek Yud Aleph, we're talking about a person who mainly is experiencing Teshuvah Eloah. So, but for it, he's dealing with a sin. That's why he's experiencing Teshuvah. The Rebbe says, so he could have Simcha and Meridus at the same time. But he could have even more than a regular Beinani. A regular Beinani can have Meridus and Simcha at the same time. This guy have more. What could be more? You know, sometimes Chas v'Shalom, you're sick. You're sick like a dog for a week, and then all of a sudden you feel better. That day you feel so good. You feel so good. Yeah, you're
able to go outside.
You filed your taxes. I give a nice example. You get this menacing letter from the IRS saying, "Oh, they're soon sending a squad of 12 soldiers to handcuff you and take you away to the dungeon." And you're shaking, and then you go to your friendly lawyer, and he tells you, this is all Baba Mises, ripped it up, it's a garbage. Right now you feel such simcha. It feels good to be alive. It feels good to be a free man. Oh, it's good. So a regular a Baal Tshuva could feel real simcha because he feels the anguish. He feels anguish. He could feel simcha. So the Alter Rebbe says, utilize the anguish of simcha, because you're worried that maybe the Eibush is not forgiving your sin. That you're heavy. You're being bogged down by your sin. So if you really have betochen the Eibush, you know the Eibush to forgive you, because when you ask for forgiveness, the Eibush forgives. So if you really have emunah, you'll have simcha. So therefore, this guy can have not only simcha and bechia at the same time, but the bechia brings him to extra simcha. This guy that's experienced Teshuvah Eloah, the bechia gives him extra simcha, much more simcha than a regular Beinani. So therefore, we have here 3 levels. The guy is Teshuvah Tatoa. If we should summarize the sikha, the guy is Teshuvah Tatoa. It's very hard to have bechia. Yeah, bechia is by Krishma. Oh, that's only bechia, no simcha. Don't try to mix in some simcha over there. Don't start dancing when you're doing Krishma Shalamita. Bechia, that's it. Teshuvah Eloah is in the morning. Learn a maimer, start dancing. Shemona Beis Hamikdash. Experience simcha, only simcha. Don't try to mix it. It's not good. Then there is a regular Beinani, so he could experience both at the same time. Then there's a person that experiencing be'emes Teshuvah Eloah. Not only he can experience it at the same time, simcha and bechia. Not only meridus and simcha is not a contradiction. The meridus will give him an extra simcha because he was so bitter about his sins, and now he thinks about this, that for sure the Eibush to forgive him. Wow, it feels so good to be alive right now. It feels so good to be free from everything, from all these avedas. Unbelievable. So the bechia gives him extra simcha.
Sounds like what we go through on Yom Kippur. That by the time we get to Ne'ilah, there's a simcha when we hear this.
Right, Minik Chabad. Is that at the end of Ne'ilah, that the Rebbe would dance an unbelievable song of simcha. And in the later years, the Rebbe used to go. The Rebbe would go up a few steps so everyone could see, and the simcha was unbelievable. It was like Simcha's Torah. It was unbelievable. The simcha was unbelievable.
The cases that everybody get in the last second.
Yeah. Okay, so the shaila is: should we daven ma'ariv now? I think we have a minyan. We can daven ma'ariv, right? Huh?
We have a minyan.
Time here. Okay. Very good. Huh?
So that's
No, we'll continue Mitzvah Shem right after.
Unbelievable.
There's a very geschmack hemshech to the Perek, but
we're gonna do.
no, next week. But the Geschmack it's right after Pesach. Eli, Mazel Tov.
You made it to the event before I did.
I know. Sorry, they cut it short because your brother wasn't feeling well.
Mazel tov.
Mazel.
It's Hashem
This
Bayo.
came from Crown Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Shluchei
You
Adonai.
went to the
no,
Did you make it?
I didn't make
Is he's going to Shlichus? He has to go through the.
the.